bullshit.
Wasted an hour and a half of our life.
We sure fucking did.
Bro,
What's good, sippers? How we
bro.
doing? Welcome
Oh,
back
we
to
started?
Sitting and Sipping. We sure did start, G.
Can I get it?
Oh, you need another one? Today we're talking about the grind of the summer. We're talking about the thick of it.
I'm
Talking
not
about
gonna
camp
lie.
life.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna pause it real quick. Y'all missed a very good conversation that we had.
Stop. Let me
was-
pause. Let me pause him. We just wasted an hour and a half of our life trying to argue with this guy George.
Bro, it wasn't even
About the difference between a nickel safety and a slot
Bro, we're not gonna
corner,
start this on
which
air,
is
dude.
the same thing again.
Bro, we're not gonna
but
start this on air, bro. Nickel safety isn't the thing.
Like he
Stick to
just went an hour and a half talking about nothing and wasting
Bro, you sound
everybody's
crazy,
time.
bro. We started talking about that like 20 minutes ago. Like, what are you talking about?
What?
We started talking
That's
about
a
that.
cool 45
like,
minutes.
you
But
sound crazy,
but we're gonna.
bro. What
But,
are
but
y'all
I
talking
digress.
about?
But I digress.
There's no way.
You digress because
But
you're
I
lying,
digress,
bro.
All
We're
right,
not
so
gonna-
check it.
Bro,
Check it. What we got here today
Ooh,
is we got a Bud Light Platinum,
sip of the
yeah,
day.
Eric actually not being soft today.
brewed for the night, 6% alcohol. You know what I'm saying? First time ever having it, I can say personally it's very good. I am still on my first one to everybody else on their third, fourth.
So
Yes.
But you know, that's just me. I like to enjoy, have a conversation, and go about my day. But Bud Light Platinum is today's drink of the day, everybody. It's not bad, and it's most definitely pretty great if you ask me.
And now look, Eric. It's not that we don't enjoy it. We just enjoy it faster than you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go. Now
and
look,
he was just a little soft. But it's okay.
we're gonna jump right into it though. Camp life, the thick, the grind.
I'm not gonna shake your hand ever again.
You guys are bums.
Not shaking his
Alright,
hand
look.
ever again.
So look,
He
Tally.
is the touch.
Tally. So for us, 2 days have changed now.
Mm.
They're a little different. You know,
Why tally? I'm in here too.
you are, and actually you've been through these 2 days before.
Yeah, I
Which is a
have.
great point. So
You feel left out?
A little bit.
So like at Valley, how you guys did 2 days when you were there is similar to what we're doing now. So before, if I give some background, we did 2 legitimate practices. Whether it was shells then fulls, or fulls or fulls then shells, and in between we would have our meals.
That second practice was never shells. That second
Hey,
practice
look,
was.
man, I'm trying to give him a little benefit of the doubt.
Nah, we
man,
ain't
but-
giving no benefit of the doubt. Let's be honest right now. Okay, that second practice, that 3 to 5, it was never shells, never just helmets. Okay, we was in fulls. It would rotate if it would be helmets and fulls, shells and fulls, or fulls and fulls. And about 55% of the time, you're looking at fulls. So it was fun.
And in between that, we have our meetings and meals, and like 10-20 minutes of rest time. I'm just chilling.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Now this year, I think Eric can speak on this a little more actually because he's done it at least once. About how we're doing 2 days this year with a legitimate walkthrough in the morning with a lift.
Or conditioning.
No, it has to be a walkthrough. We cannot run. We can't do anything. We're not even allowed to bust a sweat.
Yeah.
Strictly walkthrough for 45 minutes.
Really?
Strictly walkthrough.
Wow.
What are you saying, Drew?
Now I can't give the NCAA guys any shit. You know, I feel kind of bad because now we're doing it. Because I used to give my buddies a hard time because they were like, "No, we don't even do 2 days for real. You know, we do our walkthrough, we get a lift, and then we go to eat, and then we have practice."
Yeah, 'cause I know when I was at GV from my 1 year, it was you had yoga in the morning.
That's
after
crazy.
yoga, you had breakfast, and then right after breakfast, you had lift.
Nah, I bet that's so
Not
crazy.
lift. Not after you had lift. You
I
had
know
practice.
that's so crazy.
Practice right after the breakfast, and that was it.
Fantastic.
Then depending on the day, you had to lift a little later in the afternoon. Position meetings throughout the whole every day, nonstop. But yeah, I want to say it's precisely just like Grand Valley because, like I said, we'd go to yoga, breakfast, do everything else, and every night we had a walkthrough, a literal walkthrough over the install that we did that day or the new install for the next day or however it was. Can't remember the times so far back. Which is like you said, yes, is what we're doing now. We have to have a legit period of walkthrough and then practice. But it was different because you were like last year we were allowed to have 2 2-hour 30-minute practice. Now it's one.
An hour and then
One real practice.
right.
So yeah, it turns into literally the NCAA, except we just have our walkthrough in the morning and not at night. I think it's gonna be, personally, I feel like it's gonna be a lot better on
Our bodies.
100%.
Yes.
It's gonna be better on the bodies, and the mentals. Like the freshmen that came in, man, like 3 days in, and freshmen come earlier than everybody else. Like 3 days in, man, they were tapped. Like
I mean, it's
they
crazy.
get just like thrown into the wolves, especially when the returners come, man. It's like the first 2 days is cool, and then the second two, when we get there, man, it's like,
Balls to the wall.
yeah, we're
Like,
going, and they're just like, this is not.
They're
This-
confused.
I
They're
don't-
like, this is not what we've been doing for the past 3
yeah,
days.
This isn't it.
I will say that, like, speaking on the mental and the physical, I think that the mental is so much harder to deal with than the physical. Because, like, we all get bumps and bruises. That's just kind of part of the deal. We all know this is how this is going to work. But, can you keep your mind intact and keep yourself motivated? And not even motivated, keep yourself disciplined enough to get up and not miss a meeting, to get up and be prepared for practice and prepared for meetings. And that's what really makes the difference between, those guys that'll end up as 3s and those guys that'll end up as 2s and make the bus. I mean, Tally, I don't know what you think about it, but those are my thoughts on that.
As in,
how he was not. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's why I got him
That's my
like a
fault.
school teacher. Man. I'm telling you.
feel like it's cool. All right, my bad. Hey, Bud Light Platinum, man.
Platinum. Getting it on. Mental compared to physical.
Oh,
I think the mental takes so much more.
100%.
Just because, like I said, bumps and bruises happen.
Yeah.
We've been playing this
As
for a while.
football players, you can expect at some point your body's gonna hurt, everything's gonna hurt. But when you were tossing in, 2 practices of at some points it'd be 2 full go practices. You're hitting about, and we do 18 periods with.
Don't forget the 24s. Don't forget those 24 period practices.
Them 24s with the pre-practice. Now
Shoot.
those were dangerous. And you had the 30-minute period that you had to be outside before practice started. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it got fun. But factoring in pre-rule changes and post-rule changes, when we had them the 24 along with the full hitting practice, the mental, like, it was so easy for your mind to just be like, man,
I don't know
if I want to keep doing this. Is this really me? Like, we can all attest to this as football players. Like, at some point, like, especially coming in as a freshman, and having them 2 full hitting practices. At one point, I know I can attest to this. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it got to that point, like day 4, where it's like, is football for me?
Like, I'd say 90% of freshmen are like, I don't know.
Like, I can't
don't know.
I can't even sit here and tell you that that I wasn't someone that my incoming freshman year, first full week of camp, by like day 4, I was like, is this really for me, man? Because we did some stuff and all that hitting. I had a freaking pinched shoulder blade nerve the entire 2
Scapula.
weeks. Yeah, pinched scapula.
Scapula.
Thank
you.
I was walking around like this the entire day before and after practice. Yeah,
You
literally.
look like a pterodactyl.
Literally looking like a pterodactyl. Like, I couldn't release my back. So it was like, man, is this for me, man? Is this how I want to feel?
Like, our freshman,
but
my
like
freshman
post,
camp was crazy. We didn't touch a ball for like a week. Camp's 2 weeks. Like, we would outside of 7-on when our head coach forced us to do team 7-on. we just ran. Like it was like we would do team run, pursuit,
Team run
turnover
just sounds
circuit
filthy.
with no ball. We did turnover circuit with no ball.
Y'all just punching each other.
We were just punching each other and doing angle tackles and 300s and gassers. And then we do team run again. Like when I tell you that our DC at the time was my position coach,
Oh yeah.
and all the we looked at him funny one time because he said, "All right, everyone get on the sideline and start walking backwards." And he said, "Pick a like a yard line and stay on that yard line and walk backwards." And he didn't mean walk; he meant backpedal backwards, like slow backpedal. If you weren't at parallel, like 90 degrees in this pedal, it didn't count.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's insane.
Granted, Trent Morrow is 6'4", and we had to start over a couple times because that's just not happening.
I mean, that just doesn't even sound like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, you met the guy, so
Oh,
it makes sense.
I mean, yeah. I want to say my third day of camp, my freshman year. I remember we had to do 26 hills because D linemen automatically had 10.
Yeah.
Pre-practice, which is what we started calling it now, because we have to be out there about 20 minutes before
pre-practice.
Before pre-practice. We would, run over plays, run over stunts, and things like that. Don't know why, but this was just a day that no one could get anything right. From the starters to the the freshmen, whatever you want
That
to call
have
it.
no business
Right.
at all.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. From the starters to them freshmen, not a single person could get a stunt right. And it got to the point where our coach said,
Just go to the
vulgar words, but basically saying you got to figure this out, and you got to figure this out right now. And it led us to having 16 mistakes in about the 18 plays that we did. And at the end of practice, we had to run 26 hills. And when I tell you, and that was after like a full 14 out of 24 period of straight just collisions.
shoot.
And it got to that point, I'm running pterodactyl because I can't untense my back. I had to go into the trainer's like,
I need y'all to do something.
y'all gotta massage this or something because I couldn't untense my back. And 26 hills later, back still tense, and it was.
That was the same camp that we had that 30 ball before practice.
Oh yeah, some of our coaches are real fun, and they you're gonna run before practice if you're late to pre-practice.
Yes.
So,
Well, we've had coaches forget guys on that hill.
yeah.
Go 18 periods, and he didn't get told he couldn't stop. He could stop.
Mm-hmm.
He just kept going. There was a trail of number 15 up and down that hill. You could see the dead grass. Like I didn't know you could kill grass that fast.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. But I mean, I guess 2.5 hours.
I give him this. He didn't stop. Like
Hey,
that takes
gotta
some nuts.
respect that, man.
It takes some nuts.
It does. You gotta respect that. But I definitely do feel like the mental, capability and the mental stability will definitely stay for a lot longer now, unless our coaches just say, you know what, we are going to weed out every single guy that we think shouldn't be here by the end of the first week of camp. Because after that first week of camp, you're really that's when coaches are like, all right, we're getting ready for game prep.
We have the bus almost done. We're gonna find the 3 freshmen who we think will make the bus at this point.
Right, before they leave. Because we start the 13th. They'll leave around the 24th. So that first week, from that 13th to 20th, if they really say, okay, we're going to find out who those guys that will not make it, that's when we're going to see it.
To be real with you, I think that needs to be done in recruiting. I never understood that. I didn't. Because, like, if you didn't think they can make it through camp, they shouldn't get an offer.
But it's the same thing about the type of player, you know. It's the same thing with the player.
That's almost impossible to know.
You
though.
can't know that.
You have
No,
an
you
idea.
can't.
Like,
No, you
there's
can't.
guys
There's
you're
people-
like, this guy's
You can't know that because
There's
there's
people that could play in like
This
their
guy
high
has
school.
brown
They never,
socks,
they
like
never
this.
have. There's guys in high school that like literally never have to do anything, but they're just gifted
Good
athletes,
football
so
players,
they
right.
play.
They still
But they've
talk
never
these
had to
kids.
go to the physical challenge of like a real practice.
That's fair, and I understand that. What I'm saying is, it's not like they just see film and leave it at that and just offer it. Like, there's very few guys that get that.
No,
they at
but
least see these kids and they talk to them, and you whenever you meet a person for the first time, you get a sense of what they're about. You know what I mean? You like, okay, this guy won't look at me. Or this guy's, putting his head down, he's shuffling while he's talking to me.
But it could be the one that you least expect. The one that's gonna look you in your face, tell you everything with confidence, and next thing you know, he become the white elephant and he gone the third night.
See,
you don't know that. Like
I never heard that expression before, like 2 days ago, and you brought it up now.
Are you serious?
And it was white buffalo. It was a white buffalo.
I heard. I forgot who said that. I don't know who said that.
It was
but I
Deuce
remember.
Deuce. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was told about the white elephant like when I first committed here because my coach played here. Like the coach, so like my strength and conditioning coach at the time, he played here back in like 2013. He told me he had like 7 white elephants within like the first 2 days.
Oh, we had 3 my freshman year, within a day.
Oh, we had 3 my freshman year. One of them was my roommate.
Yeah.
I was living great the first 2 weeks of camp.
What is a white elephant, bro?
It's the dudes who
You
don't
li-
make it through camp.
They don't tell you that they're gonna leave. They don't say a word to anybody. But you go to sleep one night, you have a roommate. You wake up the next night, you don't have a roommate no more.
So you ever seen a white elephant?
No,
Exactly.
That's the point.
makes sense. Makes
Mhm.
sense.
That's what a white elephant is.
Now, all that being said about the mental, the physical is easy in my opinion. Just because, one, it takes prep in the summer,
Right.
taking
But-
care of your body.
Now we talking
during-
from a veteran standpoint or from a freshman standpoint?
Either way, I think
This is
either
the
way
thing, though.
makes
I don't
sense.
think you can't prep enough as a freshman because you haven't been through an actual camp to know what it entails. 'Cause I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, I thought I prepped perfectly. I thought I prepped great. Worked out enough, was on the field enough, all that. And I still came into camp and it was a whole different monster.
It is.
I don't think as an incoming freshman who's never been a part of a college camp, because trust me, college camp, 2-a-days, whatever you want to call it, and high school camp in 2-a-days, 2 totally different things.
And, you don't got to convince me. I've done it. So
Exactly.
I'm saying, now listen,
right. But
all
that's what I'm
telling
saying.
you-
I don't think you can prepare as a freshman enough to,
I agree with you. But all I'm saying is, you can prepare physically enough. Like enough.
You just said you agreed with me, and then you just
let
said
me
you can't.
Let me land.
Go ahead, land.
Enough to where you think, okay, I'm gonna make it. Where you think, maybe it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, you feel like you're prepared.
But that's
And
what I'm
then at that point, you get there and you're like, okay, well, let's say you're not physically prepared.
Mhm.
The most you can do is, one, take care of your body enough during that time. So icing, stretching, heating. So you're not following the rule. So a golden rule in a lot of camps, whether it be from high school to the league, is you can't make the club in the tub. So you can't make the bus if you're not practicing.
Right.
So if you're taking care of your body during camp, heating, icing, stretching, foam rolling, sleeping enough, eating enough, drinking water, you're gonna make it. Unless you're just mentally weak, you'll make it. You'll be fine. You might not.
I was gonna say, because what about those guys who thought that they prepared enough going into camp, and they turn into be one of the white elephants?
I feel like
I was gonna say, you
it's,
have a weight in your opinion.
it's yeah, because you don't let anybody get a chance.
Bro, why are you
I'm
doing
just
that,
joking.
bro?
I'm joking. I feel like it's mental. I feel like it's only really the mental, the physical, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Even if unless you're like come into the point you're so out of shape that you can't move, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just. You see what I'm saying? You just you can't just get it done.
You're right.
That's it. But I feel like as far as like the physical, it's just 90% of it is 90% of the mental battle. I feel like
Stems from physical, right?
no, 90% of the battle is just getting there mentally.
Dude, once you're there, it's pretty easy.
It's waking up and getting there because I feel like once you get there, it's like
Very good point.
what are you gonna do? You're not gonna leave in the middle of a practice
That's what I'm
unless
saying.
if you leave in the middle of a practice. And like I said at that point it's mental. It's not physical.
You have
'Cause at
brown
the end
socks.
of the day, everybody's ran.
Brown socks.
Everybody's lifted. Everybody's been hit. You're just doing it a little bit more. And not even so much for real, this camp, doing it even more because you're not. You ain't go through the camp we went through last year or go through the camp y'all went through the past 4 years, however long y'all been here. Because it's not a true 2-day. You only have one real practice. So
Knowing
it's
our
not when
coaches,
it comes to like mental, it's not. I mean, when it comes to like physical, it's nothing. I don't feel like you come in like you want to be 100% honest. I probably worked out 3 times last year, all summer, and that was 3 days before camp started. You know what I'm saying?
That's
3
rough,
times.
E.
3 times,
That's
and
out.
I made it through. You know what I'm saying? Green, like mind you, yeah. Did I have like a pulled? I pulled some muscle in my stomach. I pulled my abdomen, but that was in live period going up for like a crazy ball. I pulled. Besides that, like that was the only thing that happened. I don't feel like that's because I didn't work out in the summer. So like, as when it comes to like far as like physical, man, I feel like if you just show up, you're gonna be good. But it's only the only thing that could take you down during fall camp is your mental. That's the only thing.
So you think it's
Because
people
even
who
because
are mentally weak
because
don't
even
make it through.
no,
absolutely,
That's the
they don't
only
make
way you
it.
don't make it through.
They don't.
Yeah,
Because
Absolutely, they don't.
even if you take it now, if I take you and I push you completely to your limit, your mind will tell you you're done at 75%, and your body will have 25% more to go. Literally, like this is what my high school coaches always told me, and he was like, he got this from like the service or whatever he was doing. He was like, your mind will tell you to quit 25 to 20% before your body is actually done. So your mind will tell you, okay, it hurts too bad, stop doing the push-up. But in reality, if you could break that barrier, you could do 20 to 50 more push-ups. Your mind will always tell you to quit before your body does. It's never physical. The way I know it's never physical is because every person that's quit, that said it was too hard on their body, walked away. If it's too physical, you're not gonna move. If your body is hurt so crazy that you can't move, then that's physical. But if you can get up, you can walk away, you can still jog, you can still run, you can still I'm saying, if you can still put a backpack on your shoulder, if you can still pick up your phone to snap shorties and text people, then you ain't break mentally. I mean, you ain't break physically, you only broke mentally. It ain't got nothing to do with the physical part of nothing. It's all mental in my eyes, but then again, it's like I feel like that's just everybody being a little weak sometimes.
And now that George is back from the bathroom, you know, being a little sissy and all.
Bro, I
know.
can't go to the bathroom, bro.
Sure can.
What are you talking
Be
about?
a man. And I think we're
You sound stupid, bro.
shout out to Andrew Tate, be a man. And
Bro, I don't even know who that is.
I'm saying, you should look him up. Dude's a clown. Wow.
Yeah, just like you.
No.
Makes sense
no,
why
no.
you like him.
Oh, I don't like him. I like some of the things he says sometimes. I can't lie to you. Then he just goes a little too far, and I'm like, wow,
Oh.
out there. But we're moving on. Honestly, I want to talk about how you get that leg up in camp. Because a lot of guys just don't understand. They just expect to chill out
I can tell you.
in the sun. You gonna tell me?
No,
what?
you go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. But I can tell you this. This can answer for everybody.
I feel like a lot of dudes just chill in the summer, and then they just expect to walk into camp and walk into a job, like walk into a starting job, and it's not even like they played time. It's not like they played significant time on the field. They're just like, well, this guy graduated, so I guess this is gonna be my job. It's just it never works out that way. It just doesn't. You need to prepare. Obviously, more mentally than physically, like we've been talking about. But physically, you need to be able to take reps, to take significant reps. It's like if you can't take 6-7 reps in a row, then you can't play significant time on a field. That's just the case. Like, what makes you think that in practice you can't take 7 reps, but in a game you can go through a 13-play drive? Now, as a defensive lineman, y'all get subs, which is cool and great. You guys get rotated like every 4 or 5 plays, probably. That on average, I suppose, right? And as a DB, not really. Like, at least for the way we've done it, for historically, we rotate 3 corners. We hadn't rotated safeties. We rotated some backers, but it was between 3 spots for 4 guys, and it would rotate systematically, sort of. So it would be like the Saint would come out, and the other Saint would go to Will, and that Will would go to Saint, and that Will would go to Mike. Would come out, actually. They wouldn't go to Mike.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Mike was the only one.
There was like
that
3 guys
staying
rotating between 2 spots.
Yeah,
we'll
Mike
that.
was the only one that would
We'll do that.
consistently not come off the field.
We'll do that. But I mean, even then, if you can't take those reps, then you can't play 13 play drives for them.
100%. The best way to get the leg up is to be available.
The best ability is availability.
I was gonna say the cliche saying is the best ability is availability, and that's 100%.
If you can't practice, you can't play for me.
Right.
Like, there's some coaches who don't believe that.
But outside of that cliche meaning, what do you think is the best way?
I'm gonna tell you, because they talking about like the
up?
meanings. They talking about this and that. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Talk about some real
best
stuff.
way to get a leg up
You gonna say something?
is to take care of your body. You gotta be.
That's real.
You gotta,
That's the same.
That's
That's
real.
That falls into availability.
Listen, bro. Let me.
Be real. That don't fall into availability.
Yes, bro. I'm talking about specific ways to get your leg up.
So you talking about specific ways that goes into availability.
Go ahead, talk for me, George. Let me know. Let me know what I'm gonna say.
I'm just asking.
Okay, let's not act like you guys aren't agreeing.
We are. So like, I don't understand.
So
Just let me
relax.
Just let me talk. Just let me talk. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You're talking about the best ability is to be available. I'm trying to tell them how to be available. That's where I'm going with.
That's what I was asking. That's all.
Just don't ask. Let me land.
I can't ask
Let me
that.
land.
Land.
Because you weren't asking to know.
is what I was
You was
asking.
asking to argue.
I was asking.
You want to know how I know?
I was
Because
asking
you're still
a
trying to cut
question.
me off now. And so
I
I
was
know you're just asking to
I was
argue.
asking a question, bro.
Okay, so like I was saying, how to get your leg up and become available, because at the end of the day, the best ability is to be available. The best ability is availability. So if you're not available, you're not gonna play. The way to become available is to take care of your body in hydration. There's kids that we had, they could vouch. There's kids that we had last camp that passed out, carried away on the stretcher because they were dehydrated and their body couldn't take the heat.
Not even
And that
like they were
wasn't-
being overworked.
Yeah, we stretched and did jumping jacks and almost died. Like 2, 3, 4 players almost died. So the way to be available is hydration. When you go into the cafe, you might not like anything in the cafe, but you're not eating
For taste.
for taste.
No.
You're eating for results. You're eating for your body to
sustenance. Like it's-
stay healthy. So you go in there, you could always have a salad for every lunch, dinner. You always have a salad. You always get some type of chicken. They always gonna have some type of chicken or some type of meat, and you can always have some pasta. At the end of the day, even if you don't like anything else, they will always have regular pasta, and that pasta will have sausage or they have broccoli. So you can have a vegetable pasta. They have red sauce, white sauce. You be able to eat. You be able to get your nutrition in. Because if you don't eat and keep your body, you know what I'm saying, energized and be able to put back everything that you burnt out and replace everything, all the muscles that you tore when you were lifting and doing this and now doing that, putting the protein back in your body's gonna fall out. It's gonna give up. It's gonna give out. But then on top of the eating and the hydration, the next main thing would be sleep. That just comes like our, you know, I don't know about your coaches, but our coaches for sure preach on sleep. They don't want you up to 1, 2 in the morning trying to meet with people and be up BS and playing the game, because you're taking away from your recovery, and your recovery is the way that's going to allow you to compete at 100%. Now, mind you, there are people that have made it to camp off of going to sleep at 2 in the morning, getting 3-4 hours of sleep during camp, up, you know what I'm saying, BS and doing whatever they do.
A lot of those guys don't perform.
Yeah, their performance is hindered during practice, during camp. It's the 10th day of camp, and you got somebody that's been eating right, taking care of their body, not drinking pop, drinking water, drinking substances, and eating the food that's going to keep them healthy. They're getting their 8 hours of sleep, have went through the same amount of practice you have, the same amount of routes you ran, blocking they did, footwork drills, but their body's at maybe 75 to 80%, 60, 65, 70, 75%, but your body's at 35, 40 because you're not getting your sleep, you're not eating your food. So when it comes down to it, they're able to go 4 or 5 plays deeper than you're able to go. They're able to, you know what I'm saying, run and block, and they're not messing up when it comes to mental mistakes. They know where to block, where to go. They know how to do everything because they take care of their body. And that's I feel like personally, they're probably coming to say they piece, but that's the number one way to get a leg up, because it's been proven in other camps in the NFL and you know what I'm saying, Alabama, the Power 5, where the starter gets hurt and the dude that was taking care of his body and was able to be there and be available became the number 1. And when the starter comes back, he doesn't drop back down to the 3-4. He either stays number 1 or goes to number 2, but the number 1 and the number 2 end up both going for 1,000 yards a season. So it's little things like that, not even little things, it's the major things like that. The major little things is what get you the leg up in my eyes.
I could not agree more.
In my 6-minute rant, I feel like
I love your 6-minute rant, because no one's going to talk about it, though. No one likes to think about the fact that, look, what you put in is what you get out.
That's the thing.
And also, I'm gonna throw this last part in.
Uh-huh.
Everything you get to eat during camp is free. So the fact that you're gonna turn down free food because you might not like the way it tastes is ridiculous.
Crazy.
If you want to put it in the way of, you gotta think to make yourself eat. If you gotta think about kids in other countries that would fight to get that little piece of food. Because I know that's what I used to do before I got to the mindset where I was, where it was like, Eric, you have to eat this because you know that you want to be All-American. You have to eat this because you know you want to be great. I used to have to, Eric, you got to eat this because there's someone else in the world that would fight, claw, teeth, bone, whatever that saying is, to get that little scrap on my plate that I don't want because maybe it doesn't have enough seasoning like I like.
Or it's nasty.
It's a little nasty, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to find your own ways to power through the food. And 9 times out of 10, man, a lot of people I feel like is just spoiled and come from where they get what they want. And if it's not what they want, then they can not get it and turn around and go get something else. But at the end of the day, it's like, this is all you got. This is camp, you know what I'm saying? At the end of camp, you can order food, you got class, you be able to go do what you got to do. But in this time, suck it up and get it done, basically.
In these 2.5 weeks,
free.
It's free. What you got.
And like you said, like you pointed to the fact that there was like little things, and then you changed back and said it was major little things. Like, I agree with you, because everyone sees, when you hear do the little things right. Yeah, they're the little things in the grand scheme of things, but those little things are major into the grand scheme of things. Like, you need to get enough sleep. I don't care who you are. You need to get enough sleep, depending on your body. Like, there's some people who can function off less hours of sleep. I know I'm one of those people, but eventually, it's gonna catch up to you. And when it catches up to you, it can end up costing you.
Function isn't the question though. It's performing at optimum levels.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm
not-
saying.
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You can function and perform at optimum levels, but eventually, it's gonna catch up to you. That's why you have to. That's why you have to end up getting that right optimum amount of sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you'll be good. Okay, maybe one day you get 5 hours sleep, you can perform the same way you did yesterday. But the next day you get 4 hours of sleep. That third day after you just got that 4 hours of sleep, you sluggish, you tired, you barely can, do a 10-yard sprint, and you gas. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I can't lie to you. There was a time like 2 years ago, I didn't eat anything all day.
yeah, that's crazy.
Anything. Like, I was just like, we didn't have no food in the house.
Mm.
We were just. It was a rough day.
Right.
All right, thugging it.
Yeah.
And I had like the only thing I had in the house was like
Don't say like
it
a
wasn't
tomato
even
and a mushroom.
it wasn't even ramen. It was like one of those cup noodles.
I ain't gonna lie, them be better than the bag.
I like the bag
Facts.
better because I be chefing the bag because I don't even put the
Don't
seasoning.
don't even say chef in the
chefing
bag
the
like
bag.
it's not a freaking ramen. Like,
chef
come
the
on,
bag.
I mean, at the end of the day, if
And
you
I
don't
call
put-
them
if,
ramen.
if you don't put the
Ramen.
if you don't put the sauce pack, at the end of the day, it is just regular spaghetti noodles
That's
with
what
no
I'm saying.
seasoning. So you
what
can
I'm
salt,
saying.
you can
I
chef
be
it.
chefing that
There's
stuff.
still tons of salt in them, but
It's
good
better
show,
than the
go
seasoning
ahead.
though. It's better than the
Yeah,
seasoning.
you right.
So look,
but again, you
so I
don't
had to-
say you chefing it like you really whipping up some pasta.
Let me-
or
I
something.
mean,
Land.
if you put some egg in,
me land.
Bro, get out of my
I
face,
definitely
bro.
throw
You
egg in
don't.
my boy. I definitely do throw egg.
Y'all like egg and ramen?
It's good.
No, I'm not a fan.
And so look, I had
That's
a cup of
surprising.
noodles, and
Oh, that was funny.
and it was pretty.
No,
I laughed, didn't I? So it's funny.
It
Like,
wasn't
that's-
funny.
let me land. Look at that.
Let me land. So I had the cup of noodles, and I went to practice, and I was so sick, like physically sick. And I was like, man, I could throw up right now. It wasn't even like I ate right before practice. Like I felt like I was gonna throw up and shit my pants at the same time.
Oh my god.
And like I've never felt like that in my life. And I was like, man, I just need to eat.
Yeah, I bet you were like, yeah, I'm never gonna.
I'm
like
never
this
doing
again.
that again.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care what I have to do. I'm gonna figure out a way for me to eat something besides this.
One thing I'll tell you, especially as an incoming freshman, okay, make sure you're drinking water,
Oh my god.
okay? Because I don't know why, but for some reason in August, that's the hottest month
It makes no sense.
the year.
It makes no sense.
in Michigan, okay? It doesn't matter. The entire summer, June, July, could be 70 straight. You hit August,
92.
it is 93, 94, 98, feeling like 110. Like, it's
No. It doesn't feel like 100 yet. Feels like 99 because it feels like 100.
No, it feels like
we can't
100.
go in. We can't not practice. So
No,
it feels
no,
like 99.
you can't practice when the turf is 111, okay?
That is true, actually.
That's when you
It's
end up
high.
can't practice it, right? So it can feel like it's 105. That turf be not 105. We're gonna practice. So again, when you come in, okay, make sure carry a gallon with you, because 9 times out of 10, by like 2 o'clock, that gallon's gonna be gone.
Do not be sipping like we are during camp.
No,
That's just not a
no
good
sipping.
idea.
Don't
And I'm gonna
go
say
don't
this.
go to lunch and drink high C, Dr. Pepper, and a chocolate milk either. Man, that's a little
Now,
wild.
chocolate milk is not a bad idea.
But
you
high
don't-
C,
you don't-
Dr.
you don't-
Pepper,
you don't
and any
drink- you
pop.
don't drink milk in the summer though. That's how you.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
That's
yeah,
how
you
you throw
definitely
up.
don't.
You don't drink- you
That's how
don't
you throw up.
I would drink, like for us, after the lift, I would drink chocolate milk.
Yeah, but like if you're not doing nothing,
But
else,
there's a difference. Yeah, right. I mean,
Like,
you're not
for
gonna.
dinner,
You're,
you could drink a
you're not
chocolate
gonna
milk,
drink a
but you're not
chocolate
gonna
milk
drink
right
a-
before practice.
you're not gonna drink a
Well,
chocolate
that's
milk.
different though.
You're
We
not
have
gonna
like
drink a
2
chocolate-
hours, 3 hours.
You're not gonna drink a chocolate milk
Like
at
lunch
1
in the
and
break.
that too.
Knowing you're gonna be outside, you're not gonna drink a chocolate milk like 20 minutes before you're outside.
I'm not drinking
Not
chocolate
20
milk
minutes.
3 hours before.
3
I go.
hours.
I'm not
really?
either.
3 hours.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Like I used to have a really upset stomach. I think Sienna food has really changed my
I
stomach.
think you was just drinking milk and going
I'm
on
about to say, I think you just have a problem. 'cause I don't
cook,
think it changed my
cook
stomach.
cottage
very much.
cheese and that.
I ain't
Turn
do
it.
no cottage cheese on myself.
This is
I'm talking about the milk turn
That's
cottage
wrong.
cheese on it.
This is what I'm saying.
Now
Yeah.
look, one, we
I'm about
all
to say,
know
you
Sienna
gotta be-
food just runs through. But
I mean, it do, but
It
that's
just-
the thing.
you eat it and it's
if
gone.
you athletes, you're supposed to.
so all I'm saying
Right?
is breakfast after a lift,
Okay.
or anything right after a lift, it has to be chocolate.
Yeah.
Because it's a protein,
Yeah,
fat,
that's
and
true.
good fat.
Because they definitely would give the cups of chocolate milk.
Exactly. Hey, look, shout out Ron for that chocolate milk. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, but definitely would. And also, honestly, for freshmen, besides the water, just don't walk in expecting a job. I don't care.
Oh yeah,
how
I
heavy
don't
you
care
got
who. I
recruited.
don't care who you think you are. Like you not. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay?
You're not who you think you
I've
are.
said
90%
I've said
of
this
the time.
during every player panel, whatever. I don't care who you think you are. You come here, you gonna be facing some dudes. Okay, they ain't scrubs. Just because it's NAIA, I'm telling you, man, this is one of them conferences where it's like every player on that roster could have had a shot going D1. A lot of them. They've played high D2. They've transferred from high D2, high D1 levels. Like you're not that guy. When you come into camp wanting to take a spot. Not thinking you have a spot, because there's a difference.
Very
when
big
you
difference.
want to take a spot, you have that mentality like, I don't care who's in front of me. But when you think you have a spot, you're like, okay, I can relax because I know who I am. But that's the thing. You're a little fish in a big pond. You are, in a sense, you're not anything. Okay?
You're a crab. Look, drumline.
That's what I'm saying.
Crab.
Like, in a sense, you're nothing. Because there's been guys playing for that team 2, 3, 4 years consecutively. You're not going to come in and take a former All-American starter spot just because you got recruited heavy. Like, they brought you in to take his spot. Eventually. But you have to prove that you are worthy to take that spot now.
Dude, like, there's 20 guys in each recruiting class that got similar money. Like, pretty much the same package. There's 20 guys. There's probably 5 guys who got the max. 20 guys who got second so.
75% max.
Then there's 30 guys who got, like, the medium.
And
then
then
you
your,
have
like,
the guys
your
who
10
came
who's
in,
like,
who came in to be scout team players for 3 years and see what happens.
get some reps, right?
And see what happens. That's all I have to say on that. Just come in with a good mindset, and one, you won't be disappointed. You won't be like, oh, I need to transfer because they're not treating me right. You won't be like, oh, well, they told me this and that, but, you know.
But you're there.
But
you
I'm
worked
there.
hard. You earned your spots. You earned your time on the field.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
On the flip side, if you're a returner coming into camp, I think that the whole mindset is move up the ladder.
Oh, 100%.
That's the only thing you need to do at that point. If you're a 1, you become a 1 who leads the pack. If you're a 2, you say, okay, I need to get on the field. I need to not just be a rotation player. I want to be the guy they call in, like, hey, we need to make a play. You're going to be on the field. You're staying on the field.
Right.
If you're a 3, you want to become a rotation guy. You know, like that's the mindset I think that we need to be in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, and I definitely agree. You know, as coming in as a 1, you can't think I'm a 1, I'm good. Because again, like I just said, you know, like I said to the incoming freshman, you know, you're not that guy. It's the same thing with the 1s. You're, you know, until you're like a All-American, until you're, you know, that 3-time All-Conference guy, you're not that guy. You know, until you get those accolades behind you. That's when your spot becomes
Solidified.
quote unquote solidified / locked in. If you know you can play your way into a starting role, But then come camp, you still can lose that starting role. Like that starting role isn't yours.
I'm a two-time. Can you hear me? I'm a two-time conference guy. If I come in this camp as if I got it in my bag, I promise you I will not play a snap.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Not play a snap. So even if you are a two-time guy, your spot ain't solidified. Ain't nobody's spot solidified that first day of camp. Yeah, a coach might think they know who the first string is, but I could come in and the coach's mind being the first string. But if I don't catch a ball, if I don't get the routes right, if I don't get the new concepts down, if I don't block, if I don't do what I need to do, I'm nothing.
Facts.
I promise you that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you're like it doesn't matter who you are.
Anybody has to come in hungry. Anybody has to come in that wanting to be better than who they were before. If you were a two-time conference and you didn't get an All-American, then at this point your spot can get took. If you're an All-American and you didn't get invited to some crazy like draft or something, your spot can get took. If you don't think that, if you at any point, I feel like at any point if you feel like your spot is safe to the point you don't compete,
it's not safe.
That's when you're gonna lose your spot. You better come in acting
I
like,
agree with
you know what I'm saying, yo, like you ain't got nothing to live
That's what I'm
for.
saying. You gotta come in with that mentality that your spot can always get taken, especially as a starter.
Sports, especially like
Because
major
it's a
sports,
revolving door.
sports has always been, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Like,
Recency bias is a motherfucker.
recency bias is real. Like,
Oh,
if I-
100%.
If I go 3 games in a row with a pick, there's not a whole lot of questions that I get. If I go 5 games without recording a tackle, without recording a significant stat,
If you go two games,
if you go
I'm about to
2
say
games, there's a lot of questions
You
that
go
are being
5
asked.
games without a tackle. By the second game, you probably not gonna play.
There's a lot of questions that are asked.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what does this guy do for us? Do we really need him here?
Right.
Is this guy like significant to our scheme?
Right.
If you're forcing the issue, it's hard to say, oh well, he's not significant to our scheme. Oh well, he doesn't do anything for us. No.
Right. It's like coming in, you know, week 4, you have 3 tackles as a starter.
Well, it looks
Do
like
you think you'll be starting week 4?
week 5. Hell no.
Probably not.
Hell no.
You know, same thing with Eric. You know, he comes in week 4, 3 catches.
I don't know if I need Eric.
Same thing with me. If I come in week 4,
with not
one tackle,
with not a single Q pressure.
literally one tackle, is he really detrimental to our team? And I mean, you know, it's a little different with D linemen just because they have a lot of unseen stats, like uncalculated stats, but you know, still, like, you still have to be a consensus part of the game. You still have to be that guy. Like, it's as a D lineman, you have to come in. Let's say you have one tackle coming into week 4, but you're double teamed 85% of the time,
And you have 30 Q pressures, and you know.
right? But I'm saying, like, even off that,
It's crazy, and I understand that. But again, recency bias is real.
right?
You know.
And that's the thing, like, and that's why I'm trying to, like, you feel me? Because, you know, people were heavy on Aaron Donald, you know, but the thing about Aaron Donald is he's being triple teamed and still producing. If a D lineman is getting triple teamed, doesn't have much stats,
He's still getting triple teamed.
he's still getting triple
There's 2
teamed.
guys.
You know what I'm saying?
that have free runs.
Exactly.
So-
So it, you know.
Hey,
Again, there is recency bias, and it is definitely a thing, and it's definitely what have you done for me in the past so and so amount of time.
Look, that's the name of the game. It is what it is. You know, with all that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Once again, Bud Light Platinum, brewed for the night, drink of the night.
Very good drink.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. We'll hit you guys later. Hey, one more little clink for me.
Let's get the little clink going in.
There's one.
Yep, there's one.
There's a 2 and there's a 3.
Hope you guys have fun. Hope you guys enjoyed.
All right,
We'll
deuces.
see you next time.